Alright, this video is a little bit on 9/11 stuff. Just pretty much, it pretty much concerns some definitions. I'm going to give you a definition of something. There's a word called conspiracy. Alright? This word means, I'm going to read this. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. I apologize beforehand in case I don't make it very clear to everybody how I'm defining these. Anyway, conspiracy means a secret plan by two or more people to do something bad or against the law. I'll say that again. It's a secret plan by two or more people to do something bad or against the law. In other words, two or more people make a secret plan to do something bad or against the law. This secret plan which they make is called a conspiracy. Now let's look at this, okay? Bush talked about, people who have conspiracies. Our previous president Bush. I don't think he even really necessarily knew the definition of a word, because just look at it again, okay? It's a secret plan, okay, that two or more people made, okay, that it came from them. And this secret plan is made to do something bad or against the law. Think about it. It has to be something bad or against the law. And it's got to be a secret. It's got to be secret. Even though I don't think this is true, a number of people with box cutters could have made a secret plan, you see, which would have been to use the box cutters to take over the planes and ram them into places. That'd be a conspiracy. An idea that certain people in government and outside of government set up this stuff that happened in 9/11 in order to get the American people to do what they want. That could also be a conspiracy. So, anybody who says, "Oh, that's going to conspiracy," so what is it then? I mean, if it's not a secret plan, if it's not a conspiracy, it must be a plan that isn't secret then, right? I mean, it wasn't made by giraffes or orangutans or something like that, or monkeys, right? I mean, it must have been made by people. I mean, those things obviously weren't good, I would think, and I don't think they were lawful. I mean, I don't think they were legal. What, the running planes and the towers? I mean, so in other words, I think they just used that word because I think they felt that most Americans didn't know what it meant, and that they would just, people would hear that word and they'd go, "Oh, that's crazy person." That's what that means. It means people who say that word are crazy. That's what I think they did. And when you talk about the word theory, okay, one definition of the word theory is it's an explanation concerning how or why something happens. You could say that it's an explanation which contains how or why something happens. That's what I get out of it. Mainly, it's just an explanation of how something happened. If I take a piece of paper and say, "Gosh, I'm going to drop this piece of paper," okay, and it falls, okay, and someone walks in and I say that I had my hand up here and the paper ended up down there, and they could say, oh, my explanation of how that paper got from your hand, which was up here, down further down here, my explanation would be that you either lowered it down there or you dropped it down there. The paper arrived down here without it being in my hand. Okay, it was up here in my hand, and then it arrived down there not in my hand. So they could say, well, my explanation is that you dropped it there, and that would be a theory, because a theory is, this particular definition is an explanation of why or how something happens, an explanation concerning how or why something happens. That's what I get out of the definition. Okay, so when someone says theory, there's a lot of definitions. Schools are great at confusing the hell out of people with that word, but that's the one that I'm using here, and hopefully I kept it very simple. So anyway, see, words I think are used sometimes as little push button things. You see, they say conspiracy, or they say this, or they say theory. They say, in other words, theory means BS, and conspiracy means you're nuts. If you say anything that is against what the media says, you're crazy. So they say conspiracy means that people who say that word are crazy, and theory means that you don't know what you're talking about. You're foolish. So they attach things to that to make those words mean other things, but they don't mean those things. They're just assigning these things to them. So anybody who has anything against what the government says, you're a liar and you're crazy. Or you don't know what you're talking about. It's a little thing they use. That's what I get out of it. And knowing that, I think they know most of the population doesn't really necessarily know those words. Well then, they can pretty much make up definitions for them, for the public to believe. Okay, so in other words, if you don't know a word, find it, and you want to know it, try to find a good dictionary that isn't, when I say good, meaning that something you can understand without having to be confused. Use a children's dictionary if you have to. Sometimes you have to learn other words within the definition you're trying to understand, but that's about that's pretty much a good starting way to a good way to try to understand words, and also to learn the real definition of the words, not what the media tells you that they are. Have a good one.